because we might be on the internet.
No, we're not. Don't lie to us.
Oh no, the internet.
I heard there's people on the internet.
Before we went live? I think we were on the internet before we went live, too.
Don't bring your logic and reasoning into this.
Your logic.
Can't
and also, I
quote...
almost opened Chroma's character sheet.
Oops.
Oh, that would be fun.
Not the right character.
That would be interesting.
Out tonight's campaign.
I almost opened up Talia's, so...
Oh, wow.
Talia underlevels this campaign.
Oh, and D&D Beyond is throwing a tantrum and not letting me open any character sheets.
That's okay. I'm sure you won't need to look at your character sheet for anything. It'll all be nice, calming RP with no need to roll for initiative, which is why Eric's not here tonight. Also, he's not playing in this particular campaign, but that's besides the point.
Still, yeah.
Yes. I should probably start the introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Critical Recovery, a 5th edition homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash, and I will be your DM for tonight. With me is Chris, Io, Jen, and Archbeth hanging out in chat. So, what happened... Well, okay, it wasn't last week, but what happened last time?
We fought some hill giants. Thandrin, I think, was the only one that recognized them as hill giants.
They're not very common on Circulus.
Yes. Because the hill giants were eating... Well, no, they were playing Chubby Bunny, but with halflings. That was terrifying.
If one of them had eaten a halfling, they would have lost.
Yeah.
They still ended up losing.
We fought them. We saved the halflings, and some goblin girl had also showed up and helped us, and we weren't happy that... It was a goblin girl, yes?
Yes. Would you like to share her name?
You go for it, because I can't do it. Thank you.
But for simplicity's sake, we are going to call her Burp.
Yep,
but that is not her name. Her name is the actual sound.
We tried to
kind of like a Kenku, but grosser.
Yes.
Goblin.
Yeah.
It's a goblin.
We tried to convince Burp to go home. Burp said no. So now we have a goblin child following us around.
And she's trying to figure out what she wants to be, and wants to be all of the classes.
This is a running trend from our dungeon master. Let's throw a child at the party.
Uh-huh.
Well,
that's how I was the child that got thrown at the party eventually. You know?
Look, everyone here plays MMOs at least some of the time. We have all encountered that wonderful thing called an escort quest. I know we all enjoy escort quests a whole lot.
Aaron,
there's actually some good ones in Diablo Immortal.
I love how that's your response to that.
I'm glad I took the new spell that I took. Or at least I think I took it. I can't tell. I can't open my character sheet. Oh.
I have been playing a lot of WoW Classic. There is no such thing as a good escort quest in WoW Classic.
Hence the sarcasm.
In retail, sure. But Classic, no.
Oh no, yeah, Classic.
I just think of the one, and I admit I'm totally stalling for time as EO fights their phone. In WoW Classic, there was the one near Darkshore where you had to follow the dwarf archaeologist around.
Yeah, there's one
in that one so
there's
much.
one in Stone Talon Mountain as Horde, where you have to get a female Tauren from a hut that has been kidnapped, and you have to escort her out of the hut into the Barrens. Multiple, I think it's Grim Totem Taurens show up and try and murder you. It's not fun unless you're a hunter or a mage.
But we're going to start off with a dream sequence.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Rhine, you are in a very fancy-looking place. There are marble pillars everywhere. There's a tile floor that has inlay of gold. There's very fancy walls with round things on them. I don't know why there's round things. Maybe it's a Doctor Who reference. I don't know. But it looks incredibly expensive and spacious.
Considering that this is a dream, I'm going to guess that it's not actually expensive, though. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, how expensive are dreams these days? Depends on if you pay the warlock to put it in your head.
I do not think that is a question for me.
Well, you're the one carrying all the party's gold, so check and see if the bag's lighter after you wake up. The DM will give himself inspiration. And you hear a very familiar voice say, "What do you think?"
Shiny?
Yes. I'm thinking of redecorating. I don't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say, but it is a little ostentatious.
Well, new god had to try to live up to expectations. Doesn't really feel like it's me, though. I'm not quite sure what me is yet. I mean, I'm Teriesh. I'm still Teriesh, but not just Teriesh anymore.
I guess that makes sense. You're a different thing.
A collection is the wrong word, but amalgamation? Possibly? I'm still working things out. I apologize for not contacting you last night. My hands were a little full.
Yeah, I figure turning into a god kind of leaves you busy.
Well, in this particular case, there was a lot of setting up shop. There's the attempts to contact followers. Some were very eager to join. Others I can't reach. I'm probably going to send Emerson to De Perfecta to see if he can try a more mortal plane contact with some of the former followers of Joa. And as Teriesh says Emerson, you just see a sort of shimmery image of Emerson appear in front of you.
Does it seem like the real Emerson, or is this an
image?
Okay. This is PowerPoint presentation Emerson.
Okay, if you don't have inspiration, you better make sure that's marked off. Now that you can get into the web app.
I'm not sure.
No, you have inspiration.
Oh, yep.
You do have inspiration already.
I had inspiration.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Oh, I hate PowerPoint so much. So that's going to be another conversation I have tonight. But no, last night most of my time was spent with, and Teriesh just does a hand swipe in a direction, and you see Emerson just slide, I would say off screen, but he's not on a screen. He just slides out of view. And at first you think he just slid out of view and there's nothing there, but then you look down and there is a goblin. This little one.
Oh, huh.
My newest and youngest follower.
Oh.
I'm not sure she knows what she's trying to get herself into.
Yeah, well, not sure anybody ever does, you know?
True, but
I'll look out for her.
I tried very hard to make her go home last night. Not by revealing myself. Usually when a god shows up in front of someone, historically, they have a hard time convincing people not to follow them. But tried various dreams to make her just decide maybe all of this is going to be too scary. I learned a lot about burp. And in this case, Teriesh does specifically burp, but I'm not doing that right now. Apparently, she is headstrong, stubborn, has a way that she sees the world that she cannot be convinced by any outside forces to change her mind on anything, and has a very, very intense dislike for authority.
Well, hey, it's not like you don't have experience with that.
No. As a matter of fact, it seems to be a common trend, and Teriesh swipes his hand the other way, and you see Emerson there too. I know what Joa knew. Emerson was exactly the same.
There was more of them in me than I sometimes thought, huh?
It's amazing how the more you look, the more you can find in common with your allies. In any case, there's no convincing Burp to go home. Convincing her to go somewhere else and not stay with your particular party, who is bound to go into danger. We are deciding to fight a literal god that is much more powerful than me. That might be possible, but home was never her home.
That makes sense.
Do you know this is the first 24 hours of her entire life where everyone has used the right pronouns.
Oh.
Yeah. Which brings us to another of your party members. And Teriesh swipes his hand again, and you see Thandrin there. I have no idea who this is.
Sorry.
How weird is that?
Yes.
I don't know exactly what sorts of things you know.
There is a culture that a lot of deities try to engender that makes us appear to be all-knowing and all-powerful. We are neither. I haven't met Agma yet, but I imagine even he won't tell you he knows everything. So it's not that me not knowing anything about Thandrin is, in a sense, unusual. Show me random people from Circulus, and I probably won't know anything about them either. Thandrin is not from Circulus.
Huh.
But this, and Teriesh reaches out and almost touches the small crystal that is floating around Thandrin's head, is. And I don't know what that is either. I just know this is where it belongs now.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was kind of worried I was supposed to know what it was.
No, but I think I know somewhere you can go to start finding out. There's a library. Actually, library is the wrong word. Libraries, actually, they're kind of linked, so maybe singular. Never mind. There's more than one very large depository of books on Circulus. One of them is fairly recently created by a follower of Agma named Marwise, with a lot of extensions throughout the continent. One of them is a short day's travel from where you are now.
Oh.
It's not their largest branch, but it exists, and they're all linked magically, so there's a chance that they might be able to give you some information about whatever this is. Because the more I look into it, the more I'm disturbed.
I understand. I'll check it out.
Thank you. You should probably go wake up Thandrin now.
All right.
And you wake up as soon as he finishes that sentence. Meanwhile, Thandrin, you are also having a dream. It is not the same environment that Rhine was in. You appear to be in a city. It is a very large city. By any dimension you want to go in, the buildings just go forever. Some of them start very high up. They don't come all the way down to the ground. There are people that appear to be walking around in slow motion. People is the word that I'm using, but you can't really place what species they are. Your first thought is human, but there's a bit of uncanny valley to them. You're not entirely sure they're human, but they're not elf, they're not dwarf, they're not... You're defaulting to human, but there's something wrong about it.
Okay.
Oh, also there's a Tarrasque over there rampaging. That's a little off-putting. Also in slow motion. Like, it has literally scooped part of a building into the air and is throwing it off in direction, and you see bits of the building sort of hovering in the air, sort of slowly moving in a direction towards their impact crater will be. And you hear a voice come from behind you. You're a long way from home.
Turn around.
You see a rotting corpse, dressed in some very spectacular robes.
Love the robe.
Thanks. It was a gift.
And you are?
Glomulero. I don't expect the name to mean anything to...
Good.
Regardless, I'd like to know what a monk of the Cobalt Soul is doing here on Circulus.
To be quite honest, that's none of your business, whoever you are.
It is. Because when you arrived on Circulus, you brought something that belongs to me with you.
All right, and what would that be?
If you keep an eye out, you'll see it appearing in your field of view every so many seconds.
Focus.
And right as Glomulero says that, your iron stone of unknown purpose just drifts into your field of vision and drifts out again.
Remind me how I got this, because I can't remember, because there's two different things I was given.
Yes, and... You were almost given this thing. It felt to you like this thing was being given to you as an afterthought. You were given thing one.
Yep.
For the reasons of your backstory, which I'm not revealing here.
Thank you.
But when you were given thing two, which is this iron stone, which is plainly obvious to everyone who sees you because it really stands out, you were told, take this with you. And then you were shuffled off away without being told what it was. Just take this with you, keep it safe.
Like, the only thing I know, it's an iron stone. That's all I know.
Yes. And
I don't
usually,
even know what the thing does.
usually when you're given an Iron Stone and you attune to it, you acquire certain abilities, usually regarding knowledge and stuff like that. This, you got nothing. It just flies around your head and looks pretty.
It's a nice bauble.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the stone?
Yes. I sent that away for safekeeping.
All right.
I'm a little annoyed that it has returned.
Where did you send it again?
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm asking you that.
It's the same answer.
No, I'm assuming, but I want you to confirm it.
The DM may have forgotten the name of the world that your character is from, and he can't be bothered to look up his notes.
Exandria.
Exandria.
Oh, right. Such a little concerning.
I agree. It's dangerous. Even someone like me would be unhappy if it fell into the wrong hands, and you walk around with that flying around your head.
What does it do?
You're in a dream sequence where time is a little wibbly-wobbly, and I still don't have enough time to explain to you.
Cliff notes? A little bit of information? Something? You say it's dangerous, but all it does is float around my head.
Yes, and the longer it exists, the more dangerous it is, and it is very, very old. Think of it as a well that fills with water. It will eventually reach a maximum capacity. I'm actually a little concerned that it was the Cobalt Soul who found it, but I'm not too surprised. It does have a mind of its own.
Right, a little more concerning. This thing's flying around my head and you're saying it has a mind of its own?
Not a sapient, but a will. It wants to be used. If you use it, and I don't mean just for decoration. And he sort of motions with his hand in the air when he says that, which the DM may have done himself. Then the DM realized it was an audio format.
I've done that as well, don't worry.
Yes.
I do that all the time.
If you use it for more than decoration, use it for real. If you figure that out, and no, I'm not telling you how, it will probably mean the end of the world.
Right. So you're not going to tell me how to use it, which I don't...
No, I'm not inclined to tell people how to destroy the world. It's something I don't do.
But I'm assuming, I'm hoping that this isn't something that I can accidentally use and destroy the world.
No, it has to be deliberate.
Okay.
Magical items in general, as you know, aren't usually broken just by smacking them against a hard rock.
Yes, but so you have to break the thing to destroy the world? You're very...
Glomulero face palms and says, I have spent way too long away from mortals. Duh. Okay, yes, if you destroy it, that's how you use it, but please don't.
I don't intend to.
Ideally, you should take it back. It is not...
And risk destroying Exandria?
Exandria would be fine. It's Circulus that's in danger.
Everywhere's in danger.
I mean, yes, true.
There we go.
The Tarask.
No, not even just the Tarask. In general, war, famine, craziness. Just in general, everywhere is in chaos and danger.
Thandrin. It is Thandrin, correct?
Creepy, but yes.
Glomulero takes a step closer to you and reaches out and plucks your iron stone out of the air and holds it in front of you. You are a good man, and that's usually something that helps the world. Any world you are in. If you use this, it will be worse if this was put in the hands of the worst beings on this planet. You should get it off this... Oh, please don't get it near the kobolds. Whatever you do, don't let it get near the kobolds. And you've never seen a lich shudder before, but in this case it is a definite shudder. Get it off this planet if you can. If you can't, bring it to me, and I'll deal with it. But this is dangerous. Usually, I understand. And he lets go and it starts flying around your head again. You were saying?
Do I trust anything he's just said in that sentence?
Give me an insight check.
19.
Usually someone who has admitted they're a lich with all of the trappings of lichdom around them also, who shows up in your dream, is not someone that you should ever trust. Mm-hmm. However, most liches can't survive their planet going away. So it is possible that he's being on the up and up with this. Now, if he has ulterior motives on top of that, maybe he's a frickin' lich. But what he has told you...
was true, at least.
what he has told you is most likely correct, at least from a point of view.
All right, continue.
Okay, so the DM just gave you in a nutshell what Glomulero was about to tell you about how I understand that it's very hard to trust a lich. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little bit.
But I kind of live here too. All my stuff is here. I'd like it to stay intact.
Boy? Jeez.
Not for longer than any civilization on this planet. But yes, once in my younger days, what of it?
Really, what fraternity?
That wasn't part of Glomulero's backstory, but it is now.
I didn't hear.
Same.
Basically,
I have essentially just made this lich a frat boy.
Okay.
I don't know what you said.
Glomulero said, I don't want Circus to go away. All my stuff is here. Chris said, what are you, a frat boy? Glomulero pretty much admitted to, at some point before any known civilization existed on this world that you know of, yes, in his younger days, he was.
Okay.
So now this lich.
And now I'm imagining wizard frats.
Oh my.
Hogwarts bit worse.
There's a keg of mana potions that someone's chugging upside down through a funnel.
Oh no. Don't do
Oh,
that.
you're gonna get bloated with that, jeez.
Well, mana doesn't exist in D&D, so it should be fine. It was actually just blue Gatorade, but whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. If they were chugging mana potions, I would have questions about getting strange liquids from another universe and immediately drinking them.
I mean,
Upside down
Wizard
from a
Frat
keg.
Party. Wizard Frat Party, I honestly wouldn't put it past them. There's a lot of
that's why
questionable
I'm
things that
worried.
happen.
I would just assume there were blood elves.
We're aligned with the Tauren. Fantastic. Anyway. At that moment, you wake up. You wake up because Rhine... Rhine, how would you wake Thandrin up if you went over to him and saw him smacking his iron stone against a rock?
Was I doing that?
Yes, you were. Now, you were having a dream, so you didn't know what you were doing.
Thaumaturgy. Hey, Thandrin!
So I wake up in a bit of shock, notice what I'm doing, drop the thing.
Because Ryan yelled your name at 3 times the normal maximum volume of their voice, which is actually pretty loud already.
I imagine that Rhine doesn't need thaumaturgy to do that, but also, in doing this, the sheer volume opens up all the windows in the inn.
Wait, are we in an inn?
Yes, which makes the rock much more unusual, because that would imply that Thandrin left the inn, got a rock, and came back.
Am I sleepwalking?
You look like you're, sleep breaking things. And I figure you don't want to break your floaty thing.
No, don't. No. Ew. Okay, I take it.
The rock, by the way, has sustained a lot of damage.
Do you happen to have a lead container that will seal?
I'm not sure what I did that gave you the impression I might, but, no.
Hoping and praying that we have something to put this inside as I'm holding the iron stone.
I mean, I could stick it in my pocket.
Nope. Something secure, something that is locked, key, maybe even potentially something that is magically sealed.
Yeah, that sounds like, a wizard problem.
I can eat it.
No.
Please don't eat it, hon.
I take a one of my what are they called? Where is it? I've got them here somewhere. I swear I have some.
By the way, one could argue, wait, why is the goblin involved in this conversation? But keep in mind, someone just used thaumaturgy in the inn.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are
Everyone
currently
who
involved
wants
in this
to be.
conversation now.
I'm assuming Morley and Zuda are awake.
One could argue that the
everyone
party
in the
is all
inn is
together at
awake.
this point.
Morley. Just the man, hopefully. Hopefully. Do you have, by any chance, a lead container that we can magically seal.
That is not something I would know how to make. I am a weaver.
Not helpful.
Yes. Well, it sometimes is, but not in this case.
Still willing to eat it.
Please
You
don't eat
shouldn't
it,
eat the
hon.
magic crystals. It's a bad idea.
I could feed it to Quincy.
I unattune
no.
from the Ironstone right away.
Okay.
Right. Do we happen to know anyone on this planet that would be able to either create or have a maybe lead container that would magically seal or could make it magically seal?
The innkeeper raises their hand from the back, which means you're just sort of slightly seeing it over top of Molly's shoulder. We've got a blacksmith.
Where?
Well, they're probably on the way here now because I think all the town heard you.
Rhine?
In my defense, my god told me that you needed to wake up. I figured something might explode.
I walk over to Rhine and whisper in their ear very quickly, in your defense, the world could have ended if this thing was destroyed, so good call.
Well, that explains why the divine intervention.
Wait, I'm processing that.
I whispered that in their ear.
Okay, well, you whispered that in Ryan's ear, but Emerson is still speaking up to say, wait, I'm processing that you said your god told you to wake Thandrin up. Teriesh told you to wake Thandrin up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind asking them to not do it so loud next time?
Okay. I mean, I get asked to go to De Perfecta. You get asked to give someone a wake-up call.
Wait, did I ask your god for an alarm clock? I don't remember.
Considering what you just told me,
Yes. No, I get it. There was a joke, but I get. Yes. I'm going to go outside and look for that blacksmith. Because, actually, do y'all have any money? I only have 10 gold on.
I have money.
Because we need to do a rush job on this one. So.
Why do you need a lead box?
You heard what I whispered you.
Yeah, I just don't know how a lead box is supposed to help.
Well, lead's relatively strong. It'll keep it contained until we can get a magical seal on it.
Lead is pretty good at blocking psychic emanations.
Thank
if there's
you.
anything in that can emanate out from it and affect other people, lead is something that can prevent that from happening in some cases. Also pretty good at making sure things are harder to detect.
Good enough for me. And Ryan hands Thandrin the bag.
The surprisingly, actually not so surprisingly, you've been traveling for a few days. You know it sort of just jingles and clanks like Scrooge McDuck's entire vault. Make a strength check.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
5 on the dice, -1, 4.
So it's one of those things where as soon as you have all of the weight, you go down.
What? How many bodies have you got in this? Jeez.
Probably no more than 3.
No,
Bodies?
it was a joke.
You've never seen Burp so disappointed.
Oh, no. That is not a good sign from this
Is
child.
this coin?
Yes.
How much coin do you have?
Not quite enough to buy plate mail.
All right, I see you.
Okay, so you take a few handfuls out of the bag, I'm sure, to move the plot forward, and go off in search of the blacksmith. One of the inn's staff offers to lead you in that direction, so you're not wandering the town, going,
Wonderful.
"Where's the blacksmith?"
I know it's like 2 a.m, but I need a blacksmith urgently.
No, it's not 2 a.m. It's people were going to be getting up soon anyway. They just got up a bit earlier in the vicinity around the inn.
Okay.
All right, so while you go off to do that, breakfast is served for everyone else. And as you are going through your morning routines, Emerson says, "So, I said this in passing, sort of, but..."
You're going
Yeah.
to De Perfecta.
I was told that you're probably going in a different direction.
Yeah. We have another mission. Maybe a couple other missions.
I'm sure the number of missions won't actually end. Welcome to Paladinhood.
You know, I think I'm okay with that. Even if I don't think I'm technically a paladin.
There's a lot of technicalities that at the long run of things don't really matter. Your heart's in the right place. The question is, what do we do with, and Emerson just sort of makes a very, very slight head tilt in Burp's direction, where you're pretty sure that if she keeps eating the porridge like that, she will end wearing the bowl as a hat. And you're not entirely sure this is against the plan that she has.
Aw, hey, kid. I hear you want to be a paladin.
Burp takes the bowl and pushes it up so that it is, in fact, now a hat. Well, yeah, or maybe cast Eldritch Blast a lot, or punch things, or
this you could do.
or stab things with swords. That's fun. Or do the Healy finger waving stuff. That's cool too. Can I do all that?
Not at the same time, no.
Why not?
It's impossible.
Well, because you've only got so many actions in a round. I'm sorry,
Oh. I don't get the number of times the DM breaks the fourth wall to talk about game mechanics. The DM is not upset with a player doing the same thing. Said player already has inspiration on said player's character sheet, so the DM cannot award inspiration for doing the same thing the DM has done. With that said, moving forward.
So, want to go to a really big city where you can find people who can, teach you to do stuff instead of...
Why can't you all teach me?
Considering some of the stuff going on at the village, I think most of us aren't very good at teaching.
In all fairness, goblins aren't really good at learning.
And yet you want to learn all of the things.
Well, yeah.
How is this possible? Which of all of the things speaks to you the most? If you had to pick one. I see.
The helping people.
Okay. Good direction to go.
To be honest, that really doesn't narrow
it down. Yes, I understand. But we'll see what comes of this. It could be interesting.
So you'll teach me how to cast Eldritch Blast?
I said before, I did not learn it. I just have it. I cannot teach you what I did not learn.
No.
And you're too young to make a warlock pact. Sorry, kid.
Yes, you do not want to go down this road while you are still a child.
Pact.
Right. Yes,
Hey,
do not.
By the way, Thandrin, at this point, because lead is a very soft metal, you have found the blacksmith, and it was
telling her warlock pact save. Oh no!
at this moment, you have, in fact, found a blacksmith. They were very happy to take an existing box that they already had and put a lead liner in it. They had some sheets of lead that they'd gotten for a previous job that ended up falling through, so it was just sitting in their storeroom anyway. They gave you a discount, and you now have a lead-lined box that it won't fit in a pocket, but you could very easily fit it in a backpack.
Yeah. The iron stone goes straight into it, locked, and straight into my backpack.
Okay.
And I head back for breakfast because I haven't eaten.
Okay. And you walk through the door just in time to hear Burp saying, Warlock Pact.
No.
That is what I said as well.
No.
So because this was happening at the same time, we basically hear stereo of Morley and Thandrin saying, no.
You do not want to go down this road. There are many that are much easier and
but you just know this stuff. You didn't even have to learn it. That sounds super easy.
It is not as easy as you think. You do not simply... I don't know how to explain this any better. It is not going to... anything I say is going to make it sound better to her.
I can explain it. So
I appreciate that the other person in this group...
Spellcasters, sometimes they get their powers by, they make a deal with somebody, and then they've kind of got to do things for that person, and it's a deal that's hard to get out of, so it's not something you want to decide until you know what you want to do with your life, because you've got to be real sure.
I know what I want to do with my life. I want to help people. All done.
Yeah, well...
but...
Probably not the warlock thing then, no.
They don't always end up having to help people.
It's not like that sometimes.
If you want to learn to fight, if you want to learn to use spells, we can teach you that. Or someone can teach you that. But you're not going to throw your life away with a decision to make a pact with God knows what.
It is not the path for you, my child.
Far from it.
The DM bites his tongue.
It's like... You know what you want to do with your life in the big picture. You want to help people. And that's good. But you're too young to sign a contract you've got to abide by forever.
Yeah, you know the big picture of what you want. We just need to give you the right tools to get to that. And yes, the warlock thing is a tool, but it's not the right one for yourself.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh God.
We're not all going in the same direction. I'm heading to De Perfecta, which means after a few more miles to the north, I'm going to turn to the west. Everyone else is apparently going to a library.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
Cool. I love library.
Which means everyone else is going to be turning to the east. If you want to be a paladin, you're welcome to come with me. If you want to learn anything else, quite frankly, I don't know how to be anything else, so you'll want to go to the library. But I'm not going to make that decision for you. You want to grow up? Make your choice.
I like him.
Burp is just silent with eyes the size of saucers and looking back and forth between Emerson and everyone else. Which of you does a thing where you learn how to do cloning?
What?
So I can do both.
I think that's wizards.
No.
Which of you is wizard?
Possibly.
None of us.
None of us.
None of us are wizards, no. It's different. It's not what we do. No.
Burp mentally scratches out a line of one of the things that she was planning to work on. Quincy, what do you think?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, Quincy says that he's just going to go with me either which way I pick, so that doesn't really help much.
When you mentioned the cloning, were you talking about plants or people? Because plants you could do, I think.
Well, I'm green, but I don't think I'm a plant.
No, that is not what I meant. But anyway,
I
continue.
buried one of my brothers for a few hours, and he didn't sprout roots, so...
Interesting.
Also, he dug himself back up pretty quick.
Smart idea. Okay, so what else on your list are you thinking about then?
Because option-wise, you've got monk, paladin, cleric. I want to say Ellie's character is a cleric. Fighter. I was a fighter wizard, fighter sorcerer.
Fighter, divine, still sorcerer. Yeah, I can't really teach the...
Yeah, I can't really teach the sorcerer part.
To be fair, Meepo got lessons.
Yes, but to be fair, Meepo was innately a sorcerer anyway.
Right.
Every sorcerer is innately a sorcerer.
Yes, but does a kid... One of your basic sorcerer spells. Teach her quick. Oh, show her what you do. Do it.
Well, I'll refrain from doing the one I did again.
You close all the windows in the inn. Hello and welcome to Discount Critical Role. Starring the Discount Paladin.
Okay,
Be a way of finding out if she innately has magic, at least.
I'm going to do prestidigitation. I make an image of a tiny little ball of light in my hands.
You know, if you had used any spell to make your sword catch on fire, I would have said, cut to, you're all outside the inn, having been told to never return.
I am not setting a fire in the inn.
No, it wouldn't be Rhine.
Score.
It wouldn't be Rhine that had caused any of the damage. It would have been Burp attempting to mimic what Rhine did.
I have a wisdom score.
Yes, this is true. Although, to be fair, so does Chroma.
Chroma has a wisdom score of no.
I believe Chroma's wisdom score is 8.
Okay, true.
Which is also no. But never mind about that.
Yeah. I have a positive wisdom modifier. I have a wisdom of 14.
All right, so Burp holds out her hand and stares at it and stares at it, stares at it. I think it's a little lighter.
Okay, so not innately magic.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to teach. I guess I can try to explain that you... Alright, so there's this glowy thing that wants to come out of your hands.
We are going to need a wizard for this, yes.
No, sorcerer, wizards alone.
Sorcerer. Oh,
Sorcerers
right. Okay.
innately have power.
Ah, yes, okay. I don't think I've actually talked to either.
Which is why it's really hard to explain. I could tell you how to swing a sword. That's a thing that you pick up the sword and you swing it.
Would I be able to kind of brief, like, from memory, depict off what one of the teachers at the at the Cobalt Soul is depicted as innate magic? Could try and help. Would I have a memory to do that? Would you think?
Give me a history check at advantage.
Oh, advantage.
Because one could argue that you had to take a few classes with that person.
23.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, whatever you want to know about that person, I'm going to say you know about that person because the player knows more about it than the DM does.
So, and kneel down at our level and take our hands. Right. So, creating a little bit of light in your hand. Okay. Picture it this way: hands filled with dark. Close your eyes and just feel the light from that darkness. A little speck, bright. It's a more you concentrate. Okay. See if anything happens.
Absolutely nothing happened, other than maybe Burp blushes just a little bit.
You're a good kid. No magic.
So I can't learn magic?
No.
You can learn magic. You just
don't have innate magic. It's not. You weren't born with it, but you can learn it. I don't have magic. You don't always need it.
You guys are going to make me flip a coin.
Oh, no.
And
we're determined that this is her choice.
Very much so.
I didn't want magic.
You're just stuck with it.
Yeah, but there was a big bright thing that was part of me, whether I wanted it to be or not. And I couldn't make it not be any more than I could wake up as, I don't know, a gnome, you know?
You are what you are, you have what you have.
You want to help people, there's lots of ways, but...
This means you gotta work a little harder at it, that's all.
But, coming with us, you can go with Emerson, you can come with us to the library and talk to the library people, but we're fighting something that's bigger than a lot of the big things in the world.
The ocean.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You've seen the ocean?
It was water. It was really big, and it rose up, and it smacked down and wrecked a lot of towns.
How did you see this?
It was last night's
and
dream.
When? Last night's dream.
Well, the night before. I didn't really go to sleep last night.
Ah, okay.
Kid.
Interesting.
Wait, describe what she saw again?
The ocean's rising up and smashing a whole bunch of towns. The DM will point out that Teriesh said that he specifically 2 nights ago sent a lot of bad dreams to try to scare this character into not going on adventures.
Yeah, that didn't work.
No. It worked as well as it would have if Teriesh had sent those dreams to Rhine.
It worked as well as it sent to any of us.
Teriesh is very new at the whole God thing, okay?
I'm not going to say not to grow up and go on adventures, but I am going to say the one we're on right now it's not a training mission. It's not the place you start. You can grow up to have your own adventures, but they'll be your adventures. They'll be the ones you choose to go on when you know how you're going to help people. It's not just throwing yourself into something before you know.
I know.
I'm glad.
We've all been where you are. We've all worked hard to become good at any of the things we are now. I've been doing what I do. I've been doing what I do since I was 16. I've been training all that time.
16?
I'm 28.
Okay, we got the saucer-shaped eyes again. You can live that long?
The goblin lifespan.
Goblins are kind of like kobolds, except they don't have the same max years.
Right.
They grow up quick and die quick.
I don't know how to respond to that. Yes.
Ooh. By the way, I'm actually looking it up now. Goblins reach adulthood at age 8 and live up to 60 years. Up to 60 years.
And I'm guessing most don't make it.
Don't make it that far.
Well, they tend to live very violent lives. So, no. Grandmother is probably 60.
I was going to say, grandmother, she's old.
She's also very scary.
Yes, but do you think she did that overnight? No.
Can you get old overnight?
No, she worked her butt off for years and became what she is.
Oh, wait, if she did that, then how can she sit?
Oh my god.
No, not literally.
It's an expression.
It's expression. I understand the confusion, though, because Common does not make as much sense as some other languages. I get it.
Yeah, Goblin's a lot easier.
Anyone give me strength, please.
Well, Goblin's usually easier. There's something in common where you only have one word for it, and it's weird.
What we're saying, though, is that we've done the training. We need to go off and do a dangerous mission. You are still in training. You need to learn before you start. You need to walk before you run. You're still in the walking phase. Learn that
You
first.
sound like grandmother now.
It's because we're all old.
It's because we're all old and we all have wisdom and know what we're talking about.
If I listened to grandmother, I wouldn't have left.
If you listen to grandmother, you probably wouldn't have left. Yes, you probably have a much safer life.
Maybe
I
not.
also would have spent my
right
life being
place
called
for
a
you.
stupid boy, so no thank you.
Exactly, yes. We cannot send you back to this.
Fine, but you can't really come with us.
Why not?
It's your choice, but you can't really come.
Because we're going off to do something where we might get very dead because we're fighting something so much more powerful than us, more
there
powerful than
people
even.
who are scared?
And here's the thing.
Are there people who are scared?
Everywhere, all over the planet, on every.
I am not.
In every.
Are you
I am
scared?
Yes, very scared.
kid.
Then I'm gonna help.
Here's the thing. There's a good chance you'll get very dead if you follow us, and that you won't get dead for
If you
saving
hadn't
people.
helped, if you hadn't literally fallen out of the sky, and for that, she does gesture over at Thandrin,
Yes, because that's exactly what he did.
I'd already be dead. I can help because of you. I'm going to help because of you.
All right. But I'm going to help you not get dead. And Rhine puts a hand on Burp's head and on Quincy's head and casts Death Ward.
That is a 4th level spell gone.
Wow.
Yep.
No.
So we've been playing for over an hour. What do you say we take a short break and the DM wants to point something out while we're not recording?
Okay.
All right, so fun things have happened. We're actually going to end this game a bit early because Archbeth will no longer just be hanging out in chat. We now have a player for Burp.
Yay. And let me tell you, if I'd known Burp was level 4, I would not have been as concerned about her inviting herself along.
I mean, Burp was a CR1 creature when I introduced Burp, so that would make sense to be level 4 because of how the game is balanced. But yes, but
Yeah, I thought Burp was like CR1 4th. I was not here for Burp's initial introduction.
None of us
right.
knew what Burp's strength was. We all just kind of figured, oh, tiny little goblin girl.
Strength 10. Strength 10, Dexterity 14, Constitution 10.
Wow,
But this,
Burp is stronger than Thandrin.
Wow.
well, but this is all changing because Burp is getting an actual character sheet now. So
Burp still might
Yes.
end up stronger than Thandrin.
Burp
Possibly.
might be a barbarian.
I'm
Burp might be becoming
that would be
barbarian.
interesting.
But
Barbarians
that
are
is
fun.
creating a character sheet takes time, so we are actually going to be ending this here, so stuff can happen. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for listening. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Chris, Archbeth, Eo, Jen. Eo's mom, who happens to be Beth, writes books. You can get those books at elizabeth-mccoy.com. Jen is the host of a Diablo-themed podcast called Shattered Soulstone. You can get that at shatteredsoulstone.com. And also, their personal blog and podcast is available at bookofjen.net. Chris is also a podcaster. You can get his general gaming-themed podcast that he does with a bunch of his friends at azrothctc.com. And we have a Patreon. You can help us keep the lights on with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Cindy, Ellie, Eric, Janatalock, Mickey, Shanshan, and Walter. And until next time, this is Crash saying, instead of convincing Burp to leave, they convinced Burp to join. At least Burp hasn't become a warlock. At least they managed that. Burp is starting with inspiration for that. All right, good night, everybody.
I would like to point out we put our foot down on the warlock. We did.
Yes. The warlock put the foot down on the warlock as well.
I am proud of all three of us for putting our foots down.
Yes.